A Shalom be the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I'm Precinct Officer Daniela. This is the Wednesday night law class here to teach the law. If you got any questions, type them in. If not, we're going to move on. Any questions in the class? Questions in the class? If somebody got a question online, let me know. Today's topic, what we're going to get into is, of course, this is the law class. So today's topic going to be about the law and how it always been here. Right? The law been here forever from the time of Adam all the way up until this present day. Let me get Baruch 4:1.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever.
This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endure forever. So like I said, the law started from Adam and the law still exists till this present day. Read it again.
This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endure forever.
The law endure forever. It makes sense why all over the Bible you would see them mention the law and mention how it is, how the law is forever, right? Because the Most High didn't get rid of the law, statutes, and commandments, right? The Most High said, this is the book of the law and the law that endure forever. Read on.
And the law that endure forever. All they that keep it shall come to life.
If you keep it, you shall come to life. If you keep what? If you keep the law. You keep the laws that's in this book, you shall come to life. Meaning what? You won't have to worry about the plagues and the deaths, and the destruction. You won't have to worry about a lot of stuff if you keep these laws. Read.
But such as leave it shall die.
But if you leave these laws, you shall die. The law always been here, and the law will always be here. Even in the new kingdom, the law is here. Right? The law going to be here in the new kingdom. You will not be allowed to sin and do what you want. A lot of people get it misconstrued about the law. When I say the law, I'm talking about the punishments, the deaths that comes from not doing what the Lord said. Like when the Lord told Adam and Eve not to eat off the tree of life, that was a law he was setting. How do you know? Because being cast out the Garden of Eden was the punishment of doing what he did. We're going to get in a little bit more truth, a little bit more information about what I'm talking about. Real quick, let me get Genesis 1:23. We're going to get Genesis chapter 1, verse 23.
Chapter 1, verse
23. Like for a lot of people who so-called read the Bible, they sure do miss a lot of key points about the Bible. Read on.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 23. And then in the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And the Most High said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And the Most High made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And the Messiah saw that it was good. Verse 26. And the Most High said, let us make man in our image.
Now, what verse you started at?
Verse 23.
23.
I'm at verse 26 now.
All right, start at 22. Let me see.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 22. And the Most High blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the fowl multiply in the earth. Verse 23, and in the evening and the morning were the fifth day, and the Most High said, let the earth bring forth living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and the beasts of the earth after his kind, and it was so. And the Most High made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And the Most High saw that it was good. And the Most High said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all of the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
And Brother Control, if you could hit me up with some more of the strongest, some of that chaser back there, whatever we got. Okay, in Genesis 2 and 19. So that was basically to show you, right? The time period where the Lord created all of fowls of the air, the beasts of the field, the beasts of the water, created all that, right? And when he created these things, he put a difference between them. So as he's making the beast and he's making the animals, as we go on in Genesis, which we about to do, the Lord is going to start, you're going to see where he starts to put the difference. Where he's going to start to put the difference. And we're going to go throughout Genesis 4 and 7. Yep, Genesis 4 and 7.
The book of Genesis chapter 4 and verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
If you do well, should you not be accepted? And if you don't do well, sin lieth at the door. Now, this is in the book of Genesis, the 4th chapter. The scriptures say sin lieth at the door. The law didn't come until what? Leviticus? Around that time? So why is in Genesis it's talking about sin? And we all know what? Sin is the transgression of the law. So if sin lieth at your door, what could they be possibly talking about? They talking about the law. Right? Meaning what? Moses established the law. We always had the law, right? What Moses came and did was establish the law and give you the law, right? Once Moses got the law, it made us a society. It made it official. It made us a people. It made us a society. So once Moses got that law, that's what happened. But before Moses got the law, we still live by the same rules. You know, honor thy mother and father. Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal. Moses came and made that the law for Israel. Let's read on.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Let's go. Genesis 3 and 1. Let's go to Genesis 3 and 1.
Come. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
The serpent. We all familiar with this story. So I ain't gonna dwell on it too much. This is talking about the serpent with the Adam and Eve. Read on.
And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
God told her not to eat of every tree of the garden. Read.
And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of it.
What she's explaining to the serpent is what the Lord told her not to do. The Lord gave her a rule. The Lord gave her a law. And the Lord told her what not to do. Read.
Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Now, she's explaining like, look, we shouldn't touch it, and lest ye die. That's what the Lord telling them. The Lord gave her a law, which we now know that she went on to break, which was not to eat off this tree, which was a metaphor for not follow the philosophies of the other nations, right? Let me get Romans 5 and 11.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 5 and verse 11. And not only so, but we also joy in the Most High through our Lord Yahushua, by whom we have now received the atonement. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and by death by sin.
For one man's sin has entered into the world, and death by sin. You can put the death based off of the sin. Read.
And so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned.
Read.
Verse 13. For until the law, sin was in the world.
For until the law, sin was in the world. Read.
But sin is not imputed when there is no law.
So that's heavy. Sin is not imputed where there is no law. For until the law, sin was in the world. What does that mean? See if somebody online type it in. If not, somebody in the class can answer. Until the law, sin was in the world.
Just so everybody know online, you can type in your answers in the chat. We'll see it. Any questions you have, you can type them in below. Okay, Quatas Al-Kharaj said the law always been there here. He said that the law always been here.
Until Moses sinned, yeah. Until Moses. Read it again.
For until the law, sin was in the world.
Until the law, sin was in the world. So meaning, but until we had the law, sin always exists. Right? Now, in this context, what is it talking about? Until the law, sin was in the world. Because let's say let's establish something. What is the law? The law is the punishments that you've received for breaking God's commandments. Right? So let's say if you steal, you got to look at the law about stealing. And based off of that, that determines what type of punishment you get. Now, until Moses, the law came. I mean, sin was in this world until Moses. Meaning, when Moses came, Moses established the law, which goes into what I was saying earlier. Moses came, Moses established the law. Moses took the principles, the morals, and everything that we would keep that the Lord told us not to do and made it official. Was you getting punished for breaking the law before Moses? Or was you getting punished for sins before Moses? Because if the law, the punishment for breaking what God tell you to do, breaking God's commandments, okay, no. So it goes back to my question. Was you getting punished for sinning before Moses? That's the question. See if somebody online answer that.
Somebody said yes.
And what's the proof? What's the proof? Give me one example. And it's an example that everybody know. See if anybody.
Adam and Eve when they was in the garden.
Yep, Adam and Eve. You got the story of Noah, Cain and Abel, which shows that once you was committing sins, you did get punished. The Lord will punish you. Now, Moses came, and now Moses set up the priesthood to punish you. The Lord gave Moses the authority to now punish you. Now, it's like today. We got to keep the laws, and now the Lord punish you. You don't have a priest kicking in your door, killing you for committing sins. The Lord deals with you. Right? Let's read on.
Verse 14, nonetheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses.
And because of that, death reigned from Adam to Moses. Meaning the people that lived from Adam to Moses died constantly. Why did they die constantly? For the sins that they committed. So you know what the Lord did? The Lord was once again merciful and said, you know what? I'm going to give y'all someone who's actually going to give y'all the law to where there was no excuse. Whereas there was no excuse. Moses came, he authorized Moses to do the law in the car. Could you hand me them glasses back there? Moses came, he authorized Moses. Moses came out the mountain, tablets with the commandments written on there. Ever since then, what happened was Moses told you, hey, eat this, don't eat that. Drink this, don't drink that. Sleep with her, don't sleep with her. Keep this day. Keep that day. Keep that day. Don't keep this day. Right? So that's what the Lord did for Moses. He authorized Moses to come and now give you the law. What happened when you didn't keep that law? Moses authorized other people to now come and kill you for breaking the law. Let's read on.
Even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come, but not as the offense. So also is the free gift.
So read that again.
But not as the offense.
Oh, read before that.
Even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come, but not as the offense. So also is the free gift. For if through the offense one of many be dead, much more the grace of God. And the gift by grace, which is by one man, Yahweh have abounded to many.
Right. It's like, listen, man, from Adam to Moses, we was dying for what we was doing. Then Moses came and it helped us a little bit because now we had the law. And then we seen that didn't work. So once again, what the Lord do? Put Christ in position to come and now show us how to keep the law. Why? So we can stop dying as much. And then now when you look at it, what do we have? You know, us still breaking the law, still not keeping the commandments, the high holy days. Why? Because of the leaders we have. We don't have the right leaders in position. We had the right leaders in position, we wouldn't be dealing with none of this, man. Right? We wouldn't be, in the condition that we in. And matter of fact, and let me get Genesis 7:1 too. Let me get Genesis 7:1. Ain't no questions online, right? Okay. All right, let's get it.
The book of Genesis chapter 7, verse 1. The Lord said unto Noah, come, thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. A very clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens. And the male and his female, and other beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female.
Right. Hold on, bear with me. Luke 17:26. Luke 17:26. All right, let's get it. You can read that over for me, Baba Kashaw. Hey, Shalom. 7:1. You got any questions? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he just smiled. He's like, ask him. It don't matter. Okay. If you got more than one wife, it's okay for all of them to live together. Now, there's no sin if y'all all live together, but it wouldn't be wise. Would not be a wise thing to do. I'm telling you, it wouldn't be wise, and I hope you don't find out why I died. You know what I mean? So yeah, it wouldn't be a wise thing, to have you and all your ribs living in the same house, dealing with the emotions, and this where they gonna sleep. So now you're gonna have to deal with them taking turns. It's already rough for them to leave the house while you go stay with the other one. Imagine she got to leave the room because it's her turn to sleep with you for the next 2-3 days, and it wouldn't be a wise thing to do. I mean, to have the women living together. Could it happen? Yeah, but it really all depends on the situation, the circumstances, and all that, and the type of understanding that y'all each have. Could it be pulled off? Yeah, anything is possible. But if you got two women that's always jealous, like if your rib is always complaining when you leave the house to go to the other one, you can't move her in with another girl. Hell no. And even if they say, hey, I'd rather all of us live together, that's a lie. That's just them wanting to get close to each other to kill it so they can mark the other one off. They gonna kill the other one off. You gonna come home and they gonna cause of death as natural causes. Whole time she'd have been poisoned in there since she been in there. You like, why all my second wives been dying? Damn. Whole time she getting them out of here. Whole time, then one day, 71. Then one day, you get a new wife and she hear about the stories and she just so happen to switch the plate of spaghetti around. And you like, oh, that's what she was doing. Yeah, nah. They want to act like, hey, I'd rather us live together to make it easier. Or, some of them will even be, I'd rather us just meet. It'll make it easier. All that stuff you just got to examine and find out the intentions behind it. Why should y'all live together? Why would y'all want to live together? All that stuff got to play a factor. I would say, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. All right, Genesis, was that it? That was your only question? All right, bet. All right, yeah, read Genesis 7:1. Right now, the topic today is showing how the law was here before Moses, how the law was always here, or whatnot. That's what I'm pretty much going into.
Genesis chapter 7, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou in all thy house in the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation.
Right. So the Lord told Noah, he said, look, come to me, you and all in thy ark. Seeing how that you was righteous in all this generation. So the Lord is putting Noah in a position to survive this flood he about to put on the earth. Read on.
Every clean beast thou shalt take to thee be 7.
Now, he said every clean beast that you take, meaning every clean beast that you put on that ark, it got to be 7 of the clean beasts. So when you go get a clean beast, it got to be 7. Read on.
The male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2.
And the unclean beast. What do he mean by clean beast and unclean beast? We know unclean means you can't eat it or touch it. You can't. You can't eat or touch their carcass, right? So this was before Moses. So if the law wasn't here before Moses, why is the Lord making any distinction between clean and unclean animals? It should just be animals, right? It should just be animals. But he's making a difference because we always knew what to eat and what not to eat. It was always something that was passed down to us. What just happened was, like I said, like Adam had it, passed it down to his people and his children, and their children passed it down, and their children passed it down. And instead of it becoming something that you just tell your children, Moses came and established it and made it a law amongst Israel. But Moses got it from being taught. Moses started to find out who he was and where he come from. And the Lord started dealing with him. Moses taught, we were Israelites because of how we carried ourselves. The Lord dealt with us. And because the Lord dealt with us and chose us, we carried ourselves a certain way. And people knew the difference. That's why people knew our lifestyle and how we lived. They knew the difference. Like, you see a lot of Africans as of today. And it's almost like you see they do crazy stuff on TV, like do crazy rituals over in there in Africa. You see they eating mosquito patties, they eating mud pies, drinking blood. It's almost like you see it and you disgust it because it's nasty, but you're not surprised who's doing it. That's African culture. Like, you ain't shocked when you will see a Chinese person skin a cat and skin a dog. And because we have so much compassion for animals, we are more looking at like, damn, why they had to kill that dog like that? But we not surprised at them eating a dog. That's their culture. Which is why we say, if you African, put a bone in your lip, put a plate in your lip. Why? Because that's them. That's how you know if you African or not. Cut the clitoris off of your daughters. That's how you know. Now, you look at the Africans, you look at the East Indians. They even worship in a rock, or God is a cow or something, or a goddamn dog. They worship all. That's how you know those nations. And then you come to Israel, and it's like, what do y'all got? Y'all believe in other people gods. We look at the Israelites, they believe in the God of the Chinese people. They believe in the God of the East Indians or the Arabs or the Ishmaelites. They believed in the gods of the Edomites. All these people carry certain traits which best describe who they is as a nation. Then you look at Israel, it's like, who in the hell are y'all? Y'all don't know who y'all are, because we see this group of people talking about their Christians. We see this group of people talking about their Muslims. These are atheists. These are Hinduism. These people in the Scientology, 5%ers, this is that and the third. But then when you go through when you look at all the other nations, you're not finding 20% Chinese people Muslims. When have you ever drove past a masjid or went in a masjid and seen a Chinese person in there? Like seeing a goddamn, Asian in there or something. When have you rolled past a voting booth and seen Asian or African or East Indian in there? That's not their customs. They settle it out amongst each other. But then you look at Israel, it's like, who in the hell are y'all? Well, us, the best way to describe us is from the stuff we wouldn't eat and the stuff we wouldn't do. They looked at us like, damn, maybe if we don't eat bats and pangoloids or whatever, we wouldn't be as sick. Maybe that's why they not getting sick like that. Maybe if we wash the hell up every now and then, we wouldn't get sick. Okay, I see. And I'm gonna get the scripture to go into what I'm saying too. Nakar, you had your hand up?
I want to make a statement. So, like people, what you were saying is that because, like in America, like black people don't really have an identity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, and white people see it too. Like, they see the arguments. They see, like, white people play chess, right? And they really strategic on how they lose. So it's like, when black people think that it's cool like we debate, right? But everything that we do is for a purpose. So we might be on a platform. We're there to win the people over and bring them to this sanctuary, to give them their identity back. Every other walk of life, whatever, is flawed. And white people will see, okay, these people don't care about their identity. They don't care about the solution to their problems in their community. So let's keep pushing these different ideologies. Let's keep pushing to go out and go vote. Let's push more propaganda. Let's push more drugs. Let's push more violence. Let's oppress them more. Let's shoot these gas prices up. Make the rent higher, blaming on inflation and stuff like that. Like that's how they move. Black people, Hispanic, Native Americans, we gotta see the whole plot, and that's what we missing.
Mm-hmm.
For the last 9 months.
Right. No, real rap. That's real. Let's read on.
Verse 2. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, and the male and his female.
As a matter of fact, let me get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. I believe that's it.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Oh, no, let me get, my bad. It's Deuteronomy 4.
Talking about 4 and 6.
Yep, 4 and 6. Well, let's start at 5.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Like, look, man, the Lord taught you statutes and judgments, and you should keep them whether you go, wherever you go, in whatever land you go to possess it. Whatever land you go to live in, you should keep these law, statutes, and commandment. Meaning what? The law, statutes, and commandment wasn't just to be kept based off of where you was at. You should keep it no matter where you're at, no matter what land you're in. Read.
If I could, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, get back to what you were saying, like that's heavy. Like, I had a precept, about how the law was before, the laws of God always existed. Genesis the 39th chapter and 9th verse.
Mm-hmm.
This was Joseph and the Hamite woman that was married was trying to give the draws to Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
She was trying to cheat on him, man. Why? Because she had thought.
Right. Right.
So she basically was trying to give him the draws because he always in there working. You know how whores do. So this is what he said in response to her. I can read up a couple verses above.
Mm-hmm.
This is Genesis chapter 39, verse 7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. Verse 8, but he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not that if is with me in the house, and he have committed all that he have to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither have he kept back anything from me, but thee. Good night, if I could. I mean, it's like, yo, like, I'm like, I got a good position. Like, me and your husband don't really got no issues. He's looking out for the cookout. Like, I'm the big dog around here for real. And he gives me everything that I want, except for you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's his position.
Right.
You know, and it says, there is none greater in this house than I, neither have he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?
Right.
If I could, this is like a clear punch to the whole Adam and Eve eating the apple, and you know they was naked in the Garden of Eden. You know what I'm saying? Like these are brothers. Like Adam was a brother. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna allow Eve to be walking around butt naked. You know what I'm saying? Showing her goods. Then Israel, men, we don't play that. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, I can't really say too much. I know in Israel, we don't play that. So, with that being said, like, I just feel like it's crazy when you start, again, like getting your identity back, you start realizing how much lies, that the white man really push.
Right. No, real rap. Let's read on.
That was it.
That was it on that? Where we was at? Oh, 4 and 6? All right, let's get it.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 4, and do them.
Keep these laws, statutes, commandments wherever land you at, and do them no matter what. Israel understood this. When you go into the Apocrypha, part of the tribes, when they left and came over to the land of Asaroth, which is known as America,
Right.
They came over here so they can keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Right. Tells you that in the Apocrypha. They wasn't, okay, since we in a land where no man dwell, and we finally come over here, we don't have to keep the law because it ain't on our land. Nah, they understood they have to keep the law, even though they ain't in a land. In fact, we got to keep the law no matter where we go, to the point where we about to go find a land, so just so we could keep the laws of the Lord. You want to know why? Because obviously we're in the condition for not keeping the laws. Hold on. Let's get into that real quick. Second Esdras 13 to 41. Look at 40.
If I could, even like when you talk about like, our people coming over here to keep the law, when you actually do the archaeological investigation, you'll find that they reference Moses and burial relics. They kept the fringes. They kept the Sabbath. The Native Americans is known for keeping the Sabbath. Majority of the tribes then eat unlawful foods, especially Native Americans. On the lands, like Native Americans, when a woman was on a monthly, she was separated. You ain't gonna see that in Africa, in East India,
Mm-hmm.
Arabs. That's not how they get down. We was the only ones that did that. So they'll be separated. Um, I mean, I can keep going. Like it's ridiculous. Like rules in the game and the war. Uh, you know, having councils set up the same way. Battle cries, battle strategies, the names, the language,
Everything. Yeah, and an apocrypher, they damn near give you a map to show from the place where the Israelites left from and the route they took for the land of to get to the land of Asaroth and the time frame. I got the breakdown in the book in my crib. Man, I'm gonna remind me next week in the car if you could, just in case I forget, like, or throughout the week to remind me to bring my book. It was one of the first breakdowns I got when I came in here from Kat Hamakubov. The geographical location, like he took a map and showed, as I'm reading the scriptures, he drug his finger to show everything. It was fire, and I still got it. Go ahead.
Hold on, you got the video?
No, I got the breakdown.
Okay. This is going to blow your mind. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the laws of the Aztecs.
Mm-hmm.
These would be the Guatemalans. This would be Zebulon. All right. So the crime for adultery is death.
Mm-hmm.
Commoner found wearing cotton clothes, death. I don't know.
Damn, cotton clothes? Damn, that's a little rough.
I don't know.
I would think you just got to pay the cat back.
Of course, a lot of these tribes, just like this,
yeah.
Went off. But this is
it's no different than
Esau,
Ishmael.
Yeah, in Esau world, this don't go.
Right.
That's how you know that the Israelites cutting down a living tree, death.
Damn.
That's literally, again,
damn.
when they started going on. Drunkenness, first offense, head shaved, house destroyed, you do it again, death. Right? So again, we look at other nations being drunk, don't matter.
Yeah.
In the Aztec community, you couldn't be a drunkard.
You get your head shaved. He was keeping certain laws.
Handling stolen property, again, you sold into slavery, you're a thief, and that's what happened in Israel. You'll be branded and sold into somebody and serve out the time. Moving a field boundary, death. Kidnapping, sold into slavery. So, selling substandard goods.
And you know what sold into slavery mean, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You become a servant.
Yeah, you just go to jail because that's what jail is. In jail,
major theft.
Yeah.
So that's like, let's say you went into the Israelite church.
Right. And you took everything. Yeah.
So minor theft. So
and not to cut you off, prisons today give you jobs and they pay you like 19 cents because them paying you nothing is like slavery, because you can't have people in there mopping the floors, cooking the food, cleaning the cells without getting paid, because you should hire outsiders to do stuff like that. They're doing labor work. So to avoid it walking that slavery boundary, they pay you 19 cents an hour. They give you the minimum as possible. So you do 40 hours a week and your check is $2. Technically, it's not slavery because you got paid, just like minimum wage. As I was on my way here, I stopped at the market and people in the parking lot with a clipboard like, hey, you want to help raise minimum wage to $15 an hour? And I'm like,
Yeah, still not.
yeah, what the hell is minimum wage now? It's lower than 15? And they like, yeah, I think minimum wage still like 7 something.
It's 750.
I'm like, if people still making 7, where the hell is a job paying $7.50 now?
McDonald's.
That is
I
crazy.
think McDonald's actually up there. It's like,
Yeah, it depends on the position.
no, starting off, I think it's $8. But I ain't gonna get too deep, but
I'm about to tell you now.
it gotta be $8 now.
$7.25 in PA. That's the minimum wage. As of January 4th, 2023, the current minimum wage in Pennsylvania is the current minimum wage in Pennsylvania is the federal minimum, $7.25 an hour.
Yeah.
Where in the hell is they still doing that? Yo, that's
fast food restaurant.
Yeah, that's slavery. That's no different than a person is giving you 19 cents an hour. Where in the hell are you covering? You literally paying to get to work and pay your phone bill, and that's it.
You wanna know what's crazy?
Let me do some math real quick. Go ahead, I'm listening.
What's crazy is like a lot of people, some of our people, because, and this is how you know we destroyed. We know that these jobs is lowballing us, and because our vision, this is true, I've seen it. Because our vision is not broad enough, we feel like that's what we worth. $7.50.
$7.25.
$7.25. Like how much we worth. Like tell people like don't be deterred because you have a felony. Their jobs is hiring felons, like literally throwing money because they have the money to do so. You know what I'm saying? And like our people, one thing I would say, like we lack the vision in this country. Like we gotta have a mindset of one, like our worth, and like Pennsylvania that had the audacity to, like, I give you a prime example. I'm at my slave. I didn't see people that claim this high rise. I probably didn't see like 4 to 5 people left. And I'm like, damn, you know, how much they getting paid? They getting paid like 16. No. That's too high. They getting paid like 12. Mind you, this is 20 something floors that they clean. Vacuuming, wiping down stuff and all of that. So in my head, I'm like, yo, you work more than that. And they think that you should be satisfied. You're a grown person, you're a grown behind man, grown behind woman. They think that you're supposed to be satisfied with some smeasly behind $12. You grown, you got kids, you got rent, you might got mortgage, car, notes. The hell I'm gonna do this damn $12. And then they like, oh, I don't know why they keep leaving.
Because look what you're paying. Yeah. $7.25, 40 hours a week. That's $290 before taxes, which means after taxes, you're walking away with probably $200. That's slavery, man. That's slavery. Can you imagine somebody asks you to come to their house and be a chef for them, right? You go to their house and you make burgers, fries, nuggets, and they just need you for an hour. And when the hour is up, they give you $7. You gonna be like, you know what I just did for an hour? That's slavery. Some people gotta do what they gotta do. But come on, they can't give us more than that. They can't give the minimum $15. Yes, they could. They just choose not to because this is slavery. This is hell. That's why, you know, in prisons they give you 19 cents an hour. Why? Because it saves them money, and you know they not trying to walk that borderline slavery concept. But let's read on. Ain't no questions online, right?
I just wanted to
Oh yeah, all right, yeah, let's go ahead.
For the Aztecs, Zebulonites. Okay, treason. Death, loss of property, destruction of land, children sold into slavery. You know, like I said, a lot of these folks went, you know what I mean? They went off, you know, but, you know, that's treason is kind of universal, and we can all agree on that. But when you actually do the investigation, when you're going into the history of these different nations, of our nation, we gotta take away what the white man gave us when we was in school. They only gave us when we was on the plantation.
Mm-hmm.
That was it, just the surface. But we never got to be able to put our hands into the dirt. We was never really understanding what was going on around that time and prior. You know what I mean? And it's sad because a lot of our people right now, like you have some people that's trying to educate themselves, but it's a majority of people that still want to be stuck on stupid. So now they kids is not, they learning about the Great Migration.
Right.
They're not learning. At least we knew that we were slaves on the plantation. The white men know that we so destroyed. You can say, hey, it's a great migration. There wasn't no slavery. Y'all chose to be here. Y'all got on them boats. Y'all ain't like the conditions that y'all was in Africa. That's what they teaching our kids now. Now we teaching our kids that. What else can be able to see through?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even know the surface anymore. But, you know, that's why people gotta study and know thyself so that you pass the knowledge down. You know?
Right. Right. Nah, real rap. Let's read on.
Usually what second Ezra's
Hold on, what I say? Second Ezra's 13 and 40.
You got it? Second Ezra 6 and 40?
13 and 40.
Yeah, 13 and 40. Yup.
Those are the 10 tribes which
Read 39.
and second Ezra chapter 13, verse 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another piece of multitude unto him. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king whom Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took the counsel among themselves, and they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth in the further country where never mankind dwelt.
Right. Like they got tired of what was happening to them where they was at. So 10 of the tribes decided to go farther away from where they was at. And they like, yo, let's go into a country where no man dwelt. Read on.
That they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land.
That we might keep our statutes there, because we ain't even keep them in our own land. Why they didn't keep them in their own land? They was under goddamn persecution. Hard to keep the laws in your own land where, you know, you want to worship the Most High, but then they kill you for it. So then now you got to go on a run. You got to dig secret passages. You got to do all that. So they like, yo, it's best for us to get the hell out of here. And let's go a place where no man dwell, where we can keep the law. Read on.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river.
Oh, Euphrates.
By the narrow places of the river.
Mm-hmm. So they came in through the Euphrates River. Yep, read on.
For the Most High then shewed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Meaning the Lord, as they was traveling on that water, the Lord held the water still for them. Meaning, normally there's a flood. The Lord held the flood. So he kept the waves to a minimum where it won't flip the boat or destroy it. It won't get too hectic out there. Normally it would, but the Lord held it. That's why they said that. Because usually around this time, it'd be crazy. We wouldn't be able to get on a boat and go nowhere. We'd be in the goddamn water. But the Lord held it. That's how they knew what they was doing was right. Read on.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth.
Yep, Asaroth.
Verse 46. Then dwelt they there until the later time. Now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through their 4 souls without the multitude with peace.
Right, they went to escape to a land they could keep the Lord's laws. Let's read on. Do it say how long it took them? It said a year and a half. Let me see. Read that.
That was verse 45.
Yep, let's read verse 45. How long it took them to get there?
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
What scripture you left off? Before we read this one, what verse you was at?
Deuteronomy.
Oh, no. In the same chapter. You was at what, 41 or?
I believe I started at 40.
40 and what verse you left off when you skipped? Let me see. Read 42.
That they might there keep their statutes with.
Go to 44.
For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. That's where I want. We just read that. So the Lord held the signs and he held the flood until they got to the destination. Read.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
Now think about it, right? Because a lot of people, when it said it took a year and a half to get from over there in Jerusalem where we was at to get to here, right? To escape the persecution. It took a year and a half. Now, if you take a boat from here to there, it ain't going to take a year and a half. So then people like to try to debunk what the Bible is saying. But what they fail to realize is the technology we got today, It's not the technology we had back then. They had to take turns paddling that boat and doing that. They didn't have no motors. Today, man, we got boats that'll get us from A to B from here to goddamn Africa in 2 hours. So the reason why it took a year and a half then, which makes sense when you look at how they did it, the 10 tribes is a bunch of people on a big boat, which means the bigger the boat, the slower it has to move. You can't put no cruise size boat on the water that's going to, move 50 miles per hour. I mean, the first wave it hit is just destroyed. So they probably had multiple boats. It's going to take, they got to stop, eat. But it's like, Israel, man, listen, we on the road in the car. We stop at every pit stop. Kids got to use the bathroom every pit stop. We got to stop. We know how it is. It took a year and a half. Yes, it took a year and a half. In the car, go ahead.
Wait, nigga, to the land of milk and honey, in a couple of days, what I'm saying? Everybody, well, it take them 40 years. Nigga, if you read, we was in captivity. The Lord made us go into captivity. We got older people. And also, if you look into the Vikings when they was going over to Europe, they would be gone for years because they had to travel. So they had to ride currents. You're gonna have issues sometimes. Some of the boats you might ride to the eye of the storm because storm starts in the ocean first. So you in the eye of the storm, this thing boats flying over and all that, kids dying and all that.
So many stuff to take into factor.
Yeah, like
so many
and stuff like that.
Sometimes you can't go out this day because of the weather.
Right.
Nah, man, it's raining too hard, and that water on that wave is hitting too crazy. Hell no. So, go ahead.
Yeah, there's so many factors because when you do the research, you get the understanding of how voyages was set out. Like, they might have, you never know, they might have to go to war with some people, just to get there. Like you said, they made pit stops. They might have stayed at an area for some time because people might have people probably got sick. So, we gotta take care of our people. We might need to take a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be on that water, take a little time. Let's take a couple of weeks off and move on to a month. Y'all have us? All right, look, we'll pay our way while we're here. When we're gone, then you go about your way. You never know. They might have to down a couple of people just to get back. Just to get to what we call America today. But people don't think like that because they don't have the mindset of how our ancestors do. They don't look through the eyes of our ancestors. They look through the eyes of a damn iPhone, some damn Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Some damn Hollywood movie. But in reality, we might have had to kill. We might have had to backdoor somebody. You know what I'm saying? We know some Edomites and devils. They taking us in. We might have to follow these cats. They up. They got resources and all that. We might have to follow these cats. You never know how they was trying to move. You never know. They probably was drunk. But that all comes with the territory and understanding the voyage. People don't really know, like, pirates was another thing too. Well, they probably was told, don't go that way.
You come through here, it's gonna be a different story.
They want some, all your kids and your woman and you will be taken. You know what I mean? You never know what that voyage was like. Could have went into captivity real quick. You know what I'm saying? Without the kid, who knows? I don't know. You know what I mean? We don't know all Harriet Tubman stories. We know she was free. She freed a lot.
Right. Any questions online?
No, sir.
No questions in the room?
No, sir.
No questions? All right, let's finish off this. I think 45 or 46.
Then dwelt they there until the later time. And now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay.
Now connected to iPhone.
Oh, my
2.
bad. Go ahead, my bad, Salaka.
The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through their 4 souths, that the multitude with peace. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. Now when
Let's go into something else. So next week I'm gonna go into the map, the geographical location on how we got from here to Asaroth. To show that Asaroth was America. And America going to go back to Asaroth when Christ come back. Meaning nobody's going to dwell here or live here. I'm checking one more time. No questions online.
Sir, I just seen something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So this freight train derailed in East Palestine in Ohio, leaving mad boxcars in flames. Some of the cars were carrying hazardous materials causing toxic chemicals to pollute the air. And literally, like, when you see the clouds, it's like, imagine from like northeast all the way to South Philly, it's just a dark cloud. That's how crazy it is. It's dark, just dark, it's a dark cloud, buddy. That's
Right.
great news. It's a lot of
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, with that, I'm gonna pass the class off to priest and officer in the car.